From the 10th Avenue Extension, Grade X Station at Dogono, this is MBN TV, your mega broadcasting network, Mega News R6, live and direct from our studios here. We are also live across our social media handles on MBN 360. My name is El Samuels. The news is also live across the world. But before, let's look at the headlines. The University of Ghana study 43% of Ghanaians view coup as justified. In business, Ghana's economy expanded by 6.4% in Q1 of 2026. On the international front, Ebola death toll in DR Congo climbs to 101. This and many other stories coming up in the next 30 minutes. The Ntrasa District Court has struck out a case involving a teacher and a student at the Benyini Senior High School who were captured in a widely circulated video engaging in a physical altercation on campus.
The incident, which sparked public outrage after the video went viral on social media, led to the arrest of the teacher, Eric Brenote Apaflo. In the footage, the teacher is seen repeatedly striking the female student before lifting and throwing her to the ground. When the case came before the court, it urged the teacher, the student, and their families to resolve the matter amicably through reconciliation and an out-of-court settlement. Speaking to the media after the court proceedings, the Ashanti Regional NAT chairman, Professor Elvis Bini, called on civil society organizations and members of the teachers community to refrain from making prejudicial comments or issuing threats against the teacher.
Na ye ko police necessary yakwaje police inquiry bail e wo police amano ya striking out of court wo han nkyere say we ya bail asese ye ko police na yetumi akoka ho asem ho na ye gi bail amano na afi ye share data ye behwe na mpanimfo a omuka bia wo mi na behia na yetumi esiesi asam no ama asam no akwa na ye basran so say sadia public no esifa edi omakoma ene omo enidi asam wechi no omo supporting efa bi eye students no ye best say omo madwubre embra se teacher ni not community bi ma ne bail bi a community ena onu omo kwatena omo susunfa ensa entene ne so na omo mani ya adwunu fan emfa nye nedwuma e wo sa abre mu because cheche ni bia de ogina classroom na so ni adwunu fan a at the end of the day no ogina hokwa the best sense community ni nya abotre emano na manifa omunfa science ne so bebre na ma obi kwa mmopo bi se okwa akobo no anase okwa akoye bibi no kwasam ne se obi biara ode nsabone be cheche ni so no oka ono a waka ye nyina waka ye nyina enti ya pese civil society oheneba se ekwan bia so no muma cheche ni no ento na no kwasam so se enye de bia ene be buticheli ama yen no yakọ akwakosu okọ.
Away from the court, about 43% of Ghanaians believe that military takeovers are sometimes justified, with the northern regions recording the highest level of support, according to a recent report by the University of Ghana's Political Science Department.
The report, titled Undertones and Public Perceptions of Military Rule and Democracy in Ghana, surveyed 6,719 respondents across all 16 regions. It found that the Savannah, Upper West, Upper East, Northern and Northeast regions recorded the highest percentage of respondents who agreed that military rule is sometimes justified. However, the Eastern region also stood out, with 77% of respondents indicating that military rule is sometimes justified. The report further revealed that 34% of respondents would support military rule if democracy fails to improve economic conditions, while 28% said they would support it if democracy fails to tackle corruption. Speaking after the presentation of the report on Wednesday, June 9, The head of the Political Science Department at the University of Ghana, Professor Isaac Owusu-Mensah, noted that the findings show Ghanaians remain committed to democracy despite concerns about corruption. The position of the respondents is that even though democracy has a lot of shortcomings, they have a lot of issues and problems, but they still prefer democratic government to military regimes because the military regimes curtail their fundamental human rights and also their ability to change and hold government accountable at the end of the day. The report also recommended improving transparency, strengthening accountability, and ensuring government responsiveness to the critical needs of citizens.
The position of the respondents are that even though democracy have a lot of shortcomings, they have a lot of issues and problems, but they still prefer democratic governance than military regime because the military regime curtail their fundamental human rights and also their ability to change the whole government accountable at the end of the day. They are not happy with democracy at the end of the day because they think that corruption and also democracy is inability to deliver economic outcomes as they expect. That's why they have problems with democracy.
A tense standoff unfolded at Afari Military Hospital in the Ashanti region after soldiers reportedly prevented members of the minority caucus in parliament from inspecting an abandoned health facility.
Tensions flared at the Afari Military Hospital when a delegation of minority members of parliament attempted to inspect the facility amid concerns over its prolonged abandonment and non-operational status. The MPs, who on a fact-finding visit sought to assess the state of the hospital and gather first-hand information on challenges delaying its completion and full utilization. However, military personnel stationed at the facility reportedly denied them access, leading to a brief confrontation. The minority caucus expressed concern over the development, arguing that Parliament has an oversight responsibility to monitor public projects and ensure accountability in the use of state resources. On the other hand, military authorities are reported to have cited security and administrative protocols as reasons for restricting access to the facility. The Afari Military Hospital, located near Kumasi, has attracted public attention in recent years due to concerns about delays in operationalizing the project despite substantial investment. The incident has reignited debate over transparency, parliamentary oversight, and the status of major public infrastructure projects across the country. Stakeholders are expected to seek clarity on the circumstances surrounding the incident as calls grow for a resolution that balances national security considerations with public accountability.
NC Sebi, yes. The MC has come to threaten her.
So who gave you the authority?
But at the end of the day, I'm working for you.
You're not working for anybody.
So you're not working for anybody. Did they ask permission?
Why?
Did you see us?
What do you do this?
We are doing it for Ghana, not us. Officer,
why is he doing this?
For
Don't bring us up.
No, there is no.
Don't go back.
That is why we are going back.
But say you have a minister.
Don't ask me that.
Don't ask me that.
So
your project ongoing. We came here. Yebahas 2024. We came here. Yebahas. Yes. brother, emergency situation that people are being turned, people are dying. You want it to affect my family member or yours before you see the citizens' action. When you are not acting, the citizens act. So they should act and bring confidence, so we will not do these things. Nobody says these things are right, but it is necessary to put pressure on government. It's a tool for demonstration. It's a tool to express your feeling, because Ashanti matters. They are doing new structures elsewhere, and we are saying that as an MP, we should treat every region equal. So just as other regions matter, Ashanti also matters. Matters here. That's it.
From the tensions that is brewing between the minority caucus in parliament and the military at Afari Hospital in the Ashanti region, we move straight to the business desk, where Ghana's economy expanded by 6.4% in the first quarter of 2026, according to the latest data released by the Ghana Statistical Service.
This represents a slight increase from the 6.2% recorded in the corresponding period of 2025. Pointing to continuing resilience in economic activity. Presenting a breakdown of the figures, government statistician Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu said the services sector remained the dominant driver of growth during the period. He noted that non-oil gross domestic product (GDP) expanded by 6.3%, indicating broad-based economic performance across key sectors. According to him, the services sector recorded the highest growth of 7.1%, supported by strong performances in information and communication, which grew by 25.2%, transport and storage at 13%, and trade at 7%. The industrial sector also saw a significant improvement, growing by 6.9% compared to 4.1% in the same period last year. This was driven by mining and quarrying, which expanded by 10.7%, as well as a rebound in oil and gas production, which recorded 7% growth. Agriculture grew by 4% over the period, although its performance was weighed down by a sharp contraction of 18.5% in the fishing subsector.
Ghana's economy grew by 6.4% in the first quarter of 2026, up from 6.2% a year earlier. Second, non-oil GDP grew by 6.3%, confirming broad-based economic expansion. Third, services grew the most at 7.1%. and remains the largest contributor to growth, driven by information and communication growing at 25.2%, transport and storage at 13%, and trade at 7%. Fourth, industry accelerated significantly, growing at 6.9%, up from 4.1% a year earlier, supported by mining and quarrying growing at 10.7%, and a recovery in oil and gas, which recorded a 7% growth rate.
On the international front, Democratic Republic of Congo reported 101 Ebola deaths with 35 new cases and 10 deaths in 24 hours, raising total cases to 550.
The outbreak, caused by the Badimbujo strain, has been hard to control due to armed conflicts in Ituri, North Kivu, and South Kivu, where armed groups limit humanitarian access. The World Health Organization declared a health emergency, warning of the risk of spread from high population movements. The strain, first identified in Uganda, has no approved vaccine. Uganda has 19 cases, mostly Congolese crossing borders. Travel bans have been imposed by UAE, Mauritius, and Uganda, which also closed its border. World Health Organization Chief Tedros urged reconsideration of border closures, citing their ineffectiveness.
And on this note, we've come to the end of this morning's Mega News 6, live and direct from our studios here. But before we take leave of you, let's recap the top story. The University of Ghana study 43% of Ghanaians view coup as justified. In business, Ghana's economy expanded by 6.4% in Q1 of 2026. On the international front, Ebola death toll in DR Congo climbs to 101. For more news, log on to MBN 360. My name is El Samuels. Thanks for staying with us. Up next, the sports update. Good morning.